Well, there's been kind of a resurgence on my channel of blade content, which I'm more than happy about because I like blades quite a bit. I like to carve, I like backpacking, hiking, and woodworking in general. Out in the outdoors, it doesn't have to be bushcraft, but that's kind of what I prefer. And I get a lot of questions from people about blade videos I did 5-6 years ago. Again, it's just interesting. Maybe it just shows you where people's hobbies are at. And today I just want to talk you through two options because I'm getting a lot of questions about smaller blades that are good for kind of all terrain, all conditions. They're not super expensive. They're not going to be the most expensive. They're not the cheapest of what's out there, but utility-wise, they make a lot of sense. And I'll tell you just about two options I brought with me here. Today I'll start with the Mora Eldris. So the Mora Eldris, which I have in an Otterman Outdoors clip, it's like an aftermarket thing. Otterman sent that out to the channel. Thank you to Otterman for sending that out. The Mora Eldris is about a 2-inch, what is that? Yeah, 2-inch blade. And it's a Scandi combo grind. There's another grind that goes on here. Still kind of functions like a Scandi. It's a very small blade, but what it doesn't sacrifice is handle ergonomics. And that's one thing I just won't give up. I don't like skeletonized handles. I don't like ultralight blades in the sense that their handle is just so minimal that you can't get a good grip on it. I'm a big guy. I have XL size hands, and I just won't give up on that. I can go shorter on a blade, but I don't want to go too short on a handle or too thin on a handle. That's actually what annoys me more. If a handle is shorter, I can deal with it, but when it's not wide enough or broad enough, it's just super uncomfortable. And since I do bushcraft and I do woodworking when I'm outdoors, even when I'm hiking, I stop like right now and I take a break to use blades. I can sacrifice some thickness, and this is actually really adequate. It's probably a preferred thickness for this style. I just can't sacrifice the handle. So this blade, man, what do they run, 25 bucks? I think this is one of the best $25 you can get in a knife in the world. Mora does not sponsor my channel, and I just want it to be seen that this is a genuine, plug for Mora. They actually make good quality blades. They're not going to be the longest edge holding. They're not the toughest. They're not the everything blade, but they are at the same time kind of a master of all because they are cheap. They're super reliable in that I can always touch up the edges. I don't struggle with these blades. Almost everybody can get access to them, and they do think about the handles. The Garberg and the Consbull have similar handles, and I prefer the Consbull handles or the Eldris handles. They have kind of a gummy texture with a hard plastic inner, and this blade, although it's not full tang, it is secured in here in this injection, probably almost as good as a full tang, almost. So I think these are reliable. I stand by them. And if you want more of a dull color, you can get duller colors. You don't have to get the red or something that's very contrasty. Or you could get something more contrasty. I think they even have bright colors, if I remember right. But I like this blade on days like today where it's been raining, and I've been outside for hours. I am actually soaked. I was out gear testing. I had a bunch of stuff sent out to the channel to test. And yeah, I'm soaked. It's been a while. I'm kind of getting a little rusty on remembering what I need when I come out for conditions like this. This blade, though, is fine. It doesn't matter if it gets completely soaked or submerged underwater. I don't have salt water to test, but I can test it out here in humidity and extreme wetness for days on end. This, it doesn't matter. It's a little short. I'm doing some fishing here in a little bit. I've got a micro-sized pole, and I'm going to do a little practice. It's a little short for dealing with fish in any sort of way. I'm probably not going to be able to scale super well. I'm probably not going to be able to fillet a fish with this, but I could kind of process it. It can do something, and if I'm going minimalist, I actually really like this blade, and I stand behind that. So thank you to Mora. But LT Wright is, kind of one of the companies I plug probably the most. I love this blade. This is the Bush Baby. So since I'm a little bit more of a bushcraft-centric person, that's my edge. I like this convex edge. This is A2, so it's actually similarly easy to sharpen as this. Strops back wonderfully, but it is tough. It's tough enough for the things I do. This is a little bit thicker, and it's a little bit longer. What is this, 2.75 inches, 3 inches? Somewhere in that neighborhood of blade length. And again, it doesn't sacrifice the handle. These can be had for, I want to say, it's under 200. They're probably something like 150 right now. Definitely if you get the liners, it'll probably be a touch more. And this blade has been one of the best values I've had as far as custom blades go. And I did actually buy this years ago. Before I was getting much into the channel, I bought these. And I don't regret it. I really like these blades. But again, I use blades almost every single week. if I'm on a trip or I'm out working on something, even cutting up targets for things on my channel. I use blades like every single week for extended periods of time. And if I'm going to use this for woodworking, obviously handles, again, it's got a decent size handle, almost the same as the Eldris, maybe a touch, just a touch warmer, could be, but it's a tougher blade. I think overall, it is full tang, obviously it goes all the way through, has a lanyard hole, as well as the Eldris. But I think pride of ownership is higher on these. That's my opinion about this. This is just a blade that I'm more proud of because I really like LT Wright blades and his craftsmanship is awesome. I have used it so much, it is now to a, it's a convex, but it's almost like a Scandivex because I have reprofiled it so much. And it works really, really well. And so for those of you out there who don't mind having leather, this is probably a good option. Otherwise, you're going to have to get some Kydex made for it. And that's one of the things that helps me decide whether I'm bringing one or both with. If it's going to be rainy out, this one wears on the outside or on the outside of my backpack, and I don't care. I don't care if it gets soaked or ruined, quite frankly. It's like 25 bucks. This one, I'll protect it a little more, and if I'm going to go to woodworking, I probably want to prefer this. And if it's going to be a dry trip, I might not need this one, and I'll take this one with. Like I said, for me, I've got them both. I like them both, but some of you had asked for options in that 2 to 4 inch category. These are my number one option right now, just off the top of my head. Another one that I don't have right here with me would be from Bear Forest Knives. He's got a Simple 3 design out right now, as well as the Simple 2. The Simple 2 knife is right in there with these and actually would have some benefits over these. That's something to look at, and he does have Kydex as well. So I just want to throw that out there because I've been getting a resurgence of people asking questions from videos from 5 or 6 years ago about blades, and yeah, I still use them and I still love them.